Welcome, welcome, welcome.
What's that?
Oh, that's what the timer's for. Bet. That's what the little percentage is for. Bet I'm ready when you are.
I'm ready when you are.
I'm ready when you are.
I'm ready when you are. My boy.
You are.
Got
Mama.
to see it. Share. Hey, cheers.
Cheers. Yes, sir.
Oh, yes, sir. So, up to now, with 75 hard, um, I really struggled with making the content and recording videos and fitting that in. I know it's like 5 seconds each to get it in, but like some mornings I'm in a hurry and I'm trying to get stuff out. I don't have time to prop the phone up, hit record. I gotta be out the door. Or sometimes I'm getting ready. I'm always on the run. I'm always on the move. And when I do have a moment to sit down, I'm not doing anything 75 hard related. And I feel like that was the biggest bridge. And I feel like now I've learned to get better with it just by having recording mostly everything and having everything like ready and just having everything like kind of just recording as I'm going, bro. I don't know, like, because I know you said you were struggling with it too and stuff. Um, Bringing it because I know you brought up earlier how you was going to do mornings and nights and stuff.
I know for me, I failed with NoFap. That was the main thing. With 75 hard, the hardest part I've realized so far is the water. Like getting a gallon of water in, it seems so simple, but it is like you really have to plan your water out. So like for me, what I'm doing, I did I just went on Google, looked up what the equivalent was, and 7.5 water bottles are about a gallon. So what I do, I drink like a half bottle of water at night. So in the morning, the first thing I do is get that half out the way. So now I just count 7 different bottles. I try to do 2 bottles per workout. So then I only have 3 throughout the day. Try to knock one out after I'm done reading, and then one after I'm done meditating. That way, I only have one more bottle to fit in throughout the day. But even sometimes, if you miss one, it is like so crucial. So definitely with the water, I have to stay on top of it. I don't know if you struggle with that, but that's something I'm definitely going to have to get a hold of. And then also planning the day out. The thing I really like about 75 hard, it really doesn't allow time for BS. Like you have to stay on point with 75 hard. You have to you got to stay locked in. Like really, that's what it comes down to. You don't have time to be on social media, which is why I like the fact that we added that to our list. You don't have time to really go out with friends. Like you have to stay business oriented, but also 75 hard oriented in a sense. And it's one of those things like it just requires a lot of maturity, which is why I like it so much.
So you brought up the water. Water is something that I struggled with at first, but how I started getting better was knowing that we had 8 things to record. Remember that? So every time we record 8 things, I'd make sure that we had 8 things to do. I'd drink water every time we had 8 things to do. So in the morning, I knew I had to take a progress picture. Water. In the morning after I took the progress picture, that's when I drink it. After the progress picture, I knew I had to get ready for my workout. So I drink water before my workout and after my workout. Depends. Maybe just once. Usually it's after because I already drank for the progress picture. Then you know, after my workout, get breakfast ready. That's another video. That's for the diet. 5 seconds of that. Drink some water, and then after that, eat breakfast. Drink water again after breakfast, and lunch same thing. Dinner same thing, and then everything else you got to record same thing. So usually I go over a gallon. I go over a gallon most of the time, but I try to remember that I have 8 things to record. Just make sure you drink water for those 8 things, and then you brought up something that really reminded me. It was the emotional piece to it. I feel like the main thing that I struggle with too is also like, you know, when it comes to like little things like junk food, um, being seeing everybody else doing that what seems to really like tempt it, and you're like, oh, I can't do that shit. You know, that's where I struggle. So it's like being wanting to be a part of it, but you're right. It takes a moment of growth, and it takes a moment of knowing like, hey, we're not like everybody else, so we don't need to do what everybody else does. You know.
That's something crucial that I like that you said that for the simple fact how many people, for one, are attempting 75 hard, but for two, how many are actually completing it? That's like the big thing right there. So, yes, we are different by doing this, but not only that, most people, so I'm pretty sure people have heard of 75 soft. They're making the challenge easier, but we're sort of reversing that. We're making it harder. And that right there shows that one, we're not mentally stable for us to be making it harder, but at the same time, it shows how bad we want it also.
You brought up a good point. We are starting up here with a challenge that is already difficult, right? Not everybody finished it, but I think that's what the good thing is about this. You know, when it comes to things that are worth it, or things where you know people are own things that are rare, right? It's only rare because a select few have it. It's not rare if everybody has it. And I think that's the thing that's going to separate us. The fact that we can make it through this, and it's gonna be a battle. I know it is. The fact that we messed up the what in day three, right? Day two, day three,
Yeah, they do.
messed up, and it was like we knew what we're gonna walk into now. You know, even though we messed up, we kind of have an idea. Like, okay, this is that's what this. We got a feeler. We got a taste test of
Right.
what it's gonna be for the next 75 days of being disciplined, being focused, and just being on our shit, and you know knocking out our checklist. And I think you really made it really challenging for me too, because I find it so hard to journal. Out of all the things that you put on the list, journaling is my biggest foe. And I really appreciate that, because I'm gonna be real. Everything on that list is already on a time crunch. It's hard to fit in everything on that checklist, and the
Right.
fact that journaling is in there makes it even more difficult.
And then you think about it too, everything is a time crunch. So it's honestly a good thing that we took out social media because it limits that distraction. And that's the biggest thing with 75 hard. We need to limit as many distractions, but not only that, with us having no rest days, no cheat meals, damn near no time to really go out and talk to people, we need that journaling time. Like, we need that time where we talk to ourselves, we go through our emotions, we go through our thoughts, because at the end of the day, we're still human. We still go through stuff, we still break down every now and then. So, journaling, I feel like it's going to help us for sure with getting through this.
Bro, real talk. I love how you put the journaling in there, because today we was able to work on music and really work on writing songs and stuff. And that's a love for something that I that was dead a long time ago. You know, I love making music, and being able to journal and write lyrics and stuff and put my feelings on paper is so therapeutic. And it's like we're putting all our emotions and our thoughts into paper. We're able to voice it out and reach out to other people, because that's what we're doing this for. It's not just to help others, and we're helping ourselves at the same time, but we're really using our problems to help everybody. And I feel like that's the biggest theme out of all of this.
Right. I just love the fact that we're doing this in the first place. So we could continue living our current life, complaining about, for me, not getting the job that I want, for you, dealing with the military. We could keep living that life and talk about how we can't figure this out. Or we could take a step towards finding a solution. You know? this may not help at all. There's a possibility. There's a chance that okay, it helps out a little bit. There's a chance it flips our entire life and our lifestyle, but we don't know until we complete it. That's what I love. That's what I love that Andy did. He didn't make it 30 days. He didn't make it 60 days. He made it 75 days. And that's what I love about it because it only takes 21 days to create new habits. So if we're doing 75 days, we're almost doing 4 times the amount of time to create a new habit. So if we are not changed by the end of it, I don't know what to tell us. We lost souls at that point.
I think the fact that we're just doing good things for ourselves, just that alone, I'm dropping crumbs. Just that alone is good enough because we've both struggled with this. You brought it up, social media, getting rid of it. It's just being efficient with our time.
Right.
I feel like being efficient with our time. This is what 75 Hard kind of helps us with because I found myself having to read a book when I had nothing to do. I found myself having, or not even nothing to do, when I'm just waiting in the line in DMV or sitting down, I'm reading my book. When I'm in the car, I'm reading my book, and I'm not driving, I'm sitting down, I'm reading my book. When I'm not doing that, I get up in the morning, I start off my day meditating, getting my mind right, and just putting myself in a better state of thinking. And with that too, knowing you have to drink a gallon, it forces you to stay on top of your water and stay hydrated, which helps you also stay in tune with your diet because now you're overeating, you're not under eating, you're eating just the right amount. You have enough fluids in your system. And I noticed it's just everything is kind of going in line. I think 75 Hard is designed to make sure that your foundation is set in place, so we're able to better handle everything else that we're currently going through in the first place.
Not only that, it's really a challenge that just keeps you healthy. Think about it. Work out twice a day. That's what they recommend. Doctor recommends 60 minutes a day of some kind of activity. With eating a diet, that's self-explanatory. With drinking a gallon of water, that's usually what a majority of people need to drink anyway. But there are so many people, you and I included, that are constantly dehydrated. Unless you're a top level athlete or you're just super health conscious, I doubt 90% of the population is properly hydrated. So the fact that we're doing this already, it's really just making us healthy if you think about it. Like everything about the program, we're reading. Mentally, we're healthy. We're meditating. Mentally, we're healthy. That's spiritually too. Mentally and spiritually, we're healthy with meditating, with no social media. We already know how bad social media is in general, but at the same time, we all ignore it or we just don't use it properly. Because I'm not going to lie, there is positives to using social media.
Right.
Right here is going to be on social media. And that's what I love about 75 Hard. Everything about the program, you can argue about. It just comes down to how you use it. And for 75 days, it's forcing you to use it a certain way to form your discipline. That's what it comes down to.
I'm over here smacking like it's a mukbang. Um, I'm with you on that because not only is it that, but it's like how people try to take away their distractions and move it somewhere else and try to replace it with better habits. That's cool. That's cool and all. But
Hell, I've been talking about that for a minute.
that's cool and all. But you cannot take away everything in front of you forever that is a distraction. There's gonna be days where you're gonna have to walk through a room full of people that you don't like and be able to operate and function properly. There's gonna be days where you're gonna have to be able to walk through a room full of distractions, everything that's your weakness, and be able to maintain yourself and hold yourself and ground yourself. And that's one thing I see. It's like doing this challenge. It's really changed my mindset. When I do hop on social media, I'm not on there doing what I used to do and bullshitting around. This time, I'm actually on there being productive. I'm on there to either upload, to either share productive things, check through my inbox, and if I'm not doing that, I'm not using the app at all. Before it was go on there, scroll, like photos, scroll, da 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 da. You know, that's what it used to be, and then just repeat that, and then it'd be taking up like 10, 15 minutes. And 10, 15 minutes.
Put your head on my shoulder.
Hold on, where'd that come from? Hold on, you kind of threw me off with that. Where'd that come from?
Yeah, bro, it really just forces you to. It forces you to be mature. It forces you to be healthy. Things that we need to be doing anyway. And at the end of the day, it's not like Andy himself is forcing us to do 75 hard. We are choosing to do this. So at the end of the day, it's a choice to better ourselves. So if we don't succeed or we're in the same spot that we were 3 months from now, that's on us. If we don't take anything from this challenge, that is 100% on us, and we can't blame anyone for that. That's what it comes down to.
This challenge forces you to hold yourself accountable if you're doing it by yourself. The fact that we're doing this together, and we got the shared notes to see each other's checklist. It's like an accountability tracker for both of us. So we're not only helping ourselves, we're helping each other become better leaders and helping each other become more, what's the word? Become more real, I guess, and be more genuine, and really be able to teach people stuff and really show people how to do things and really be able to show people how to hold themselves accountable. And I feel like that's going to be a big thing as we progress in our career paths, because a lot of the stuff we do involves a lot of mentoring, coaching, and entrepreneurship. You feel what I'm saying?
Not only that, like you said about accountability, one, we have to hold each other accountable, but we also have to hold ourselves accountable. I said that backwards. Not only do we have to hold ourselves accountable, but we also have to hold each other accountable. Meaning, if I fail, you fail. If you fail, I fail. It's no longer just a one-man show. This is a team effort, meaning I got your 6, you got my 6. If we both end up dying, that's on both of us. However, if you have my 6, I'm having your 6, we got each other. So if we fail, not only do we fail ourselves, but we fail each other. And I feel like that adds to the pressure of it, but it also makes it easier because we can trust in each other.
This is teaching us how to build trust, build resilience, and how to have faith in each other too. And because I'm not gonna lie, when I fell asleep and forgot to take my progress picture, I woke up and I was hurt. I was like, I messed up. It took me. All it took is one picture, and I could have saved us from all this. And that right there messed it up for you. And when you opened up to me and you was like telling me how you felt, I was like, damn, like I was feeling you. I felt your pain. I was hurt with you. You know, it wasn't just what I did. It was what you were saying that you did. I was feeling it with you because it's like we're both in the same boat. Quite literally, we're doing the same thing together. We're in the same boat. We both sitting down seeing that sinking ship.
And that's one thing I do want to touch on. The fact that it was something so simple for both of us. like we'll talk about it more later, but no fact. That's something we've both struggled with a while with the progress picture. Like you said, progress pic takes a few seconds, but yet we both failed to make it so simple, and that's how it's one of those things. Like again, it's going to take accountability, but not only that, it takes a lot of maturity and discipline. And it's something so simple that we know we can do, but it just comes down to actually doing it. And that's one thing that I absolutely love about this.
The biggest things I'm picking up from this is trust, time management, accountability, and
Discipline and
productivity, discipline.
discipline, maturity, self control, all of that.
All because all because we're doing a few things a day. 8 things a day. That's all it takes. Like, this is gonna change our lives because how many days did you say it takes to build a habit, Nemo? Tell everybody.
Only takes 21 days. Yeah.
We're doing 75 days. And that's the scary thing, bro, because it's like, it feels like it's not a lot, but at the same time, it's a lot. And it's like, it's day by day. You know, it's a day by day type of thing. Because I know that because when I was in boot camp was about 8 weeks, 2 months, 60 days. It was the fastest and longest 60 days of my life. Each day would go by fast. Or I'm sorry, not each day. Each day would go by slow. Each each week would go by fast. Every hour was long, but every day was also going by pretty quick compared. The more you extend the time, the faster it felt. But if you went moment by moment of how difficult it was, of course it's gonna feel like a long time. Anything that's terrible, anything you don't fucking like, feels like forever. Remember when we was kids and we was sitting in a room for like an hour, had nothing to do? That felt like forever. Now an hour ain't shit, especially if you're doing something you like or being productive. You know, that's the thing. If you're busy and you're doing stuff and you're always staying busy, time flies. But when you're not doing shit and you don't know what else to do with your life, time is gonna be slow, right? But if you're on your shit, right, you busy, that can be slow too because if you're doing something you don't like, you're uncomfortable, and you're trying to grow, that's a good kind of slow. Now we're not doing the bad kind of slow; it's a good kind of slow. We're being better. We're trying to be better. We're doing stuff. Yeah, we're doing this whole challenge is gonna feel slow sometimes. There's gonna be fast days, slow days, but that's what's gonna separate us from everybody else. The fact that we persevered, and the fact that we're gonna do it over and over and over again until we hit that 7.5. That's what makes us different, bro. Because it's not about whether we make it to the end. It's about, are we still trying?
Now, that's one thing I want to touch on too. I know for you it probably went by quick, but even on the outside looking in, I thought boot camp was like 3, 4 months for you. Like that was a long ass time for me. And yet, you think about it, that was already what, 3 years ago? And that time flew by so fast, just looking back at it.
60 days. I was supposed to, excuse me, I was supposed to walk a certain way, talk a certain way, eat my food a certain way, stand a certain way, sit a certain way, brush my teeth for only 5 seconds, take a shower for only 30 seconds, put my clothes on in less than a minute, wake up every morning at 5 o'clock. We go to bed by 11, 12, sometimes get woken up in the middle of the night. We would only get about 4 to 5 hours of sleep every night. Eventually, our body adjusted. Eventually, we got better. And towards the end, some of us thought boot camp was starting to get easy. And that's how I know habits are real. Habits take place. Once you build a good habit, you can't break it. And I know that because I've been getting up at 4 a.m. for the past week or so, almost 2 weeks. It's starting to feel natural now. I don't feel as groggy as before. And when I get up, I do what I gotta do. And that's the thing. 75 hard is about doing what you gotta do. It's not about anything else, but just being like really really disciplined. That's all I notice about it. Is being disciplined with yourself, your time, and everything else in your life.
I couldn't have said it any better right there. Bro,
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Who do you think you is, Mr. Fly, Nemo Smoke with them cornrows?
it's kind of one of those things that when you hear old heads talk, they just say you got to do what you got to do. This is one of those moments. We got to do what we got to do.
Right.
So in that case, my guy, like Mr. Kendrick Lamar Duckworth once said, I could say that way smoother. So like Mr. Kendrick Lamar Duckworth once said, let's get this.
Let's get this. Let's get this. Let's go. Really, I feel like the main thing I want to last say is not really for you, for everybody else, but kind of for you too, I guess. Mainly everybody. I'm gonna word it like this: if you're not doing 75 hard, if you is not into it, just at least a week. Give it a week. Try it out for a week and see how you feel, and you'll see it's not like the most exhilarating feeling, right? It's not like riding a roller coaster, but it feels like that feeling where you passed like this test in school or something, and you finally got it off your chest. You're not studying for it no more. That's that kind of feeling. It's not like riding a roller coaster at Six Flags type of feeling, but you get hold that feeling of passing that test and not having to do that studying homework no more. It lasts longer. It lasts a lot longer than that Six Flags feeling. That's what I will say about it. It's a long term happiness as opposed to a short term like huge amount of happiness. It's like It's like knowing that you was part of the journey. It's like you took every day to watch the TV show, watching it episode by episode instead of watching a movie about it that summarized it all. It lasts with you longer. It sits with you longer. You know the details. That's what 75 hard, I guess, feels like.
One thing I do want to say, so this is technically my third time trying tomorrow, or starting tomorrow is technically my third time trying. My first one, I forgot to get the water in, failed on the third day. Second one, messed up with no fap, and then also you didn't get the progress picture. We both failed each other. That was attempt number two. We are going, for me to be number three, for you to be attempt number two. But yet, if anything, we are more motivated by our failures. Like the fact that, I don't know how you feel about it, but for me, the fact that I failed twice at it within a month span makes me want to get it just that much more. And if I'm being honest, I can see myself living by a majority of the rules even after 75 hard. Like obviously the alcohol is probably one of the rules I'm gonna break every now and then. Like, it's one of those things like, again, it just brings the maturity and the discipline out of you. And honestly, I feel like that's what people need, especially our generation. I feel like that's what our generation needs the most is a little bit of maturity and a little bit of discipline. When you pair those two up together, honestly, I don't see anything wrong with it. that's just my point of view. Like I've seen other people talk about it, and I've watched plenty of videos on it. And yes, there are valid reasons. A gallon of water isn't reasonable for everyone. I get that. 2 workouts a day isn't reasonable for everyone. I get that. Strict diet isn't reasonable for everyone. I get that. But there are little things you can do to adjust the slightest amount to make it reasonable for you. Which is why I understand why some people do 75 shots. But it's like stuff like this, I feel like it's sort of priceless that we know this so young. Like I'm barely 21, 22, and we're learning stuff that people don't learn till they're 40. I feel like this is just a crucial change in our life for us to learn this early. Not only that, but just for us to learn in general. For us to make these for us to make these changes in general, just shows like we're still trying. Like even though we fail a lot. No, I'm not playing football right now. You're not boxing right now. Guess what? We are still trying. And as long as we're still trying, there's still a possibility for us to do what we set out to do. I feel like that's what's most important out of everything.
I feel like for me, when I'm done with it all, I'm finally gonna be able to finish reading all the books that I bought. It's been a year. I haven't read all of them. Finally, gonna be able to do that. I also feel like after doing it, I'm gonna be a lot more disciplined when it comes to like my morning routines, just my general routines. I feel like after 75 hard, I'm gonna be eating healthier, drinking a lot more water. Um, I do feel like the one thing that I will kind of drift away a little bit, maybe the it would be it's the things that are normal, like the cheat meals, the alcohol, and the. I feel like the journaling might stick with me. To be honest, I was gonna say the journaling at first, but I feel like the journaling is actually gonna stick with me. Everything else after, whether or not you do it once or twice a day, right? As long as you do it, I feel like that's going to be the main lesson. As long as you discipline yourself and you're doing something more productive. As long as you're working out, as long as you're drinking water, as long as you're eating healthy, as long as you're journaling, as long as you're meditating. I feel like that's the main lesson. As long as you're doing something productive and you can take away from 75 hard and apply it to your life and make it to where your life is better. And let's say you don't have anything else after going on after 75 hard. Well, you already did it for 75 days. Might as well make it a permanent thing.
At minimum, like bare minimum, once we finish 75 hard, at minimum 1 workout a day, I'll probably end up still doing a gallon of water. Meditating for sure, reading, which is so crazy to me because the last book that I read, I think it was the Salem Witch Trials. But I think it was the Salem Witch Trials that we read senior year in English. Like that is the last time I read, and even with that, I only read just enough to pass the test. Like I don't remember the last time I was like, you know what, I'm gonna read a book. Actually, I do. I do remember. 5th grade, Magic Tree House. Those books were the last time. That was the last time I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go read a book. So we're looking at what, 11 years? Like 10, 11 years since the last time I was like, you know what? I want to read a book. And 75 hard within 3 days has changed my mentality.
One thing I learned too while doing 75 hard was finding pleasure in the things that people don't like to do. Who the fuck likes to read? Let's keep it a 100. No one likes to read. But when I actually sat down and read my book, in the times that I had, the little time window, sitting in the car, when I'm with my parents, spending time with them, reading my book while I'm in there, absorbing really powerful information and interesting information. Because it's hard. I'm in there, I'm talking to my parents, we're driving around, you're looking around, you're trying to read the book. You're struggling to read a page. And then that makes you more curious too, like, what am I reading about, And it's like you have something to always constantly long for. And with reading a book, you could take the book everywhere with you. You can't take your TV everywhere with you. You can't watch TV everywhere. You can have your phone everywhere, probably watch if you got Netflix. But it's not the same. It's easier to turn a page away and be like, I'll continue later, than to turn your phone off and be like, I'm going to watch it later. No, you're going to want to sit down and finish the whole show. A book, it's like wine. You sip on it, you take your time, you can put it down, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a shot, you know, right away. You know what I'm saying? You can't just put a shot down. You got to finish the whole thing. Wine, you take your time with it. It's fine wine. It's not a shot. Okay? Fine wine does the job too. It's slower, but it lasts pretty well. And after you feel good, it does its own thing. It's sweet too. You know what I'm saying? And it's a mixture of different feelings. And I feel like just the analogies I'm using, I feel like, the main thing is with 75 Hard is that we're going to be able to do a bunch of things a lot more efficiently overall. Whether or not we walk away with these habits, the ones that we have, we're going to get rid of, and we're going to walk away and be more efficient with the good ones that we do have. And if we do walk away with some, well, we just replaced all the bad ones. So after 75 Hard, I'm going to be really excited because I know we accomplished something. 75 days. And I'm also excited because I know we're going to be different. We're going to be some different ass people. Or we could just fucking go cold turkey back to what we used to be because we're so fucking overwhelmed. We won't know till we get there, but I feel like us trying to find out is only going to be helpful. And like I said, bro, I feel like everybody else needs to try this because 75 Hard is going to be... It's going to help people. I feel like discipline, like you said, maturity is something that we all need in our life. No matter what age group you are, discipline, maturity can take you a lot of places in life. Being able to not react off your emotions, being able not to make instant decisions off of how you feel, not being so reactive, being more reflective. I just think 75 Hard is gonna be good for us, and I feel like as of now, we already are different people. Even us doing this conversation here, just talking to everybody, this is not something we do on a regular. So if you really look at how 75 Hard has kind of altered our habits and altered our current way of movement, how we move and all that, I feel like that there too is going to be the biggest shift. People won't even notice that they're doing good things and are changing into a better version of themselves, if that makes sense. It's going to be subtle. Mike, I bet you before 75 Hard, you didn't even think about having cornrows.
Oh no, I did. One thing I didn't think about though was just my overall fashion. Like even this right here, this is a step up compared to what I usually do, but this is nowhere near where I want to be. And that's only 3 days, bro. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But the two things I do want to touch on real quick. With reading, that's one of those things like you can take everything away from me, but you can't take this away. And that's one of the things that they actually touched on in the book that I'm reading called Will. That's one of the things Will's mom would always say is they can't take your education away. And I feel like books are a form of education. They really are, and that's one thing I love about it. I love that we're actually interested in books. Like yesterday, for example, that was the first time we ever had a conversation about reading books. You were talking about the Nipsey book, I was talking about the Will Smith book. first time we ever touched base on that. Not only that, but like you said with the fine wine, it's one of those things like, yes, 75 hard takes a lot of time. Like, not only the 75 days, but it takes a lot of focus for us to get all of the 10. It takes a lot of time to get all of the 10 rules done. And one thing I'm starting to realize, yes, it takes time, but at the same time, it also takes. It's also one of those things, like you said, with boot camp. The days went by slow, but the weeks went by fast. It's one of those things like you take more time in the action, and it feels slower. But before you know it, time is going even faster. So it's almost like a yin and yang with time. By you focusing on time, it's going faster, but you're also able to slow it down more. It's one of those weird things, but it's like it's almost like we're controlling our time for once.
We are going to be fucking dogs after this. That's all I know. I'm confident in this. I think the video's done because I just ran through half of my snacks.
Oh yeah, this has been empty for a cool minute.
What's on your mind, bro? What's on your mind?
I'm just ready, bro.
Hell yeah, I'm ready.
I'm like, sort of like that calm before the storm. Like we already got, in a sense, we got a free trial of it. It's like we know what to expect. We know what it's going to take. And not only that, I'm more excited to see. I'm more excited to see how I'm going to turn out by the end of this. But not just me. I want to see how both of us change. Our dynamic changes. The fact that, like you said the other day, when we get on a roll, it's like that's a moment because it rarely happens. I wonder if those moments are going to happen every day. Like if we're going to be locked in, no BS, and just super focused, super disciplined. Like, is that going to be a daily thing? Like that's something that I really can't wait to see. Because, like you said, it's only 75 days. Like, it's not even 3 months. It's 2.5 months. 2.5 months has passed by so many times in our life. And before we know it, we're going to be done with this already. I'm really excited for it. I'm not going to lie, I'm nervous. Like, the fact that I failed twice already, and as a team, we failed once. I'm not going to lie, I'm nervous about that. But at the same time, if there's anything that I know about Grind Time Global, I know that we'll find a way. The two of us together, we'll find a way.
Nah, bro. All the BS aside, man. I'm just as nervous as you. I think I'm really eager to see how we gonna be too right after. Cause I'm not gonna lie, I do still have some bad habits that are still lingering even after the week that we've been doing it. You know, like a big one.
I think it's a bad habit.
A big one for me is you know how I get when I see my little brown bunnies. You know what I'm saying? See a little bad one pass by, I lose focus. I really do. I lose focus. I lose focus. You know, as soon as I see a shorty get by, I'm like, whoa. And you know how I've been. You know how I've been lately. I ain't been afraid. I've been walking up to them. I've been getting their numbers. I've been talking to them. Been hollering at them. Been doing the most. And it's just like, I want to calm down with that because I know what I want for myself. I know I want a love. I want a real relationship. I want a real experience. I don't want one night stands and all this BS. And I just don't want to fuck around with my time no more. And I hope that after 75 hard, I can at least get rid of that. I'm kind of relying on 75 hard to cure some of my problems, which is bad. But at the same time, I feel like it's also a blessing that's being handed down to me to help it. It's not that I'm relying on 75 hard. For those of y'all who want spiritual, I'm just relying on something higher than me. That's it. Um,
You know the way.
you do not know the way if you do not know Yahweh.
If you do not know Yahweh, you do not know the way. Oh damn. Oh damn.
That's our
Oh,
cue to go. That's
oh
our
damn.
cue to
Okay,
go.
we good. We good. We
That's
good.
our cue to go. But
All right.
look, man, I'm gonna wrap my side up. And you can wrap yours if that was it. I just feel like after this, I want to be able to get rid of my habits that are bad, and I want to be better at being focused with the good ones that I do have, and being able to lock in with everything that I gotta do so I can stay focused and be doing that. Be being there doing that. That's what I'm supposed to be doing, right? But a little toast to us for having this. I'm happy to have this. This was a great. This is probably my out of all the cheat meals and cheat snacks and days I ever had. This was the most productive one. I feel like this was the one that was worth it the most because it was really a toast to us saying, "Hey, let's get on track and let's enjoy our moment and then let's help others along the way." Because tomorrow is gonna be a new day. Every day that's a new day. Every day that's a new day is a good day. And every day that's a good day is a blessed day. And that's all we want to do for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm spinning. Where the
Put a man.